Have you ever received one of these calls? I fired my painter and I need someone to finish a project. Or my painter disappeared, he started the job and I don't know what happened. Or where is he? I'm Ron Ramsden, DYB coach, also painting contractor for over 20 years. I've received these calls now and then, and usually we run. But recently, we haven't. I want to show you this job, what we went through, what we talked to the homeowner about, and as we're finishing the job for her. Well, this quick story, this homeowner hired a painter they've used in the past, hadn't used it for 8 years. They stained this deck 8 years ago. A long time to wait in New England to stain decks, but anyways, it's a pressure treated decking and stairs. The new contractor, or the contractor who she used in the past, came over, gave her a quote. I don't know the details of the quote, I don't know how much of the quote, but they power washed. They sanded it, almost all sanded, and then they started staining it. And it was a very random stain. 3 weeks, the painter would, or if they so-called painter would show up for an hour or two, 3 hours. I don't know what they were doing after they sanded, because the staining was all over the place. There was stain on the siding, there's stain all over her brick staircase. If you see it underneath there, it's a mess. There's paint chips, there's everything everywhere. And then the homeowner, after 3 weeks, handed the contractor $500 and said, get out of here, I'm done with this. One night, the contractor, we had till 10 o'clock at night trying to finish the deck. For whatever reason, it should really only taken a couple days. But anyways, she fired the contractor. On a Wednesday, she had contacted me and said, can you help? I'm a local guy. Can you help? She found us on Google. I was hesitant. We are very busy. I said, well, let me see, because she's in my own town. So I swung by. I looked at it the next day. It's just a regular deck. And I got to say, 90% of the sanding was done, but it was a mess around the deck. So I discussed this with the homeowner, told her that we are booked straight out, but we may be able to find a couple hours here and there over the next week and a half to complete the deck. I generally don't touch any brushes. I just run the crews. But I know this is something that I could pick at for her and end up getting a great story and a great review out of it, as well as getting paid. So I put together a proposal. I told her I'd have her proposal that night. When I sent the proposal, I wrote, as promised, please find the attached proposal. On the proposal, before I started anything, I described what we are not responsible for. We are not responsible for the stain on her siding. We're not responsible for staining on her decks that are currently there. We're not picking up any paint chips, on and on and on. I wanted to make sure everybody was on the same page that we are not responsible. We are also not responsible for a warranty on this deck because we did not prep it. She also had 1 gallon of stain that was purchased by the previous contractor. We were going to utilize that stain, of course, and then buy other stains. So we discounted that 1 gallon of stain. We said we're going to need X number of gallons minus one homeowner had. Very, very specific. And I wanted to let the homeowner know this isn't getting done tomorrow. We will fit it in the next week and a half, weather permitting, and finish her deck. So what I wanted to share is, if you can fit these things in, they can be success stories for your company. Secondly, set expectations in writing to the homeowner, what you're going to do, what to expect, and when you think you can finish the job, weather permitting. So generally we don't do this, but we found this is a great source of new customers for us, because I know this woman in her office that she goes to has been telling everybody the story about the contractor who is taking 3 weeks to stain the deck, and the new person they called was able to finish it and move on from there. And then she threw a little wrench in the whole thing. They're saying, oh, by the way, we're having a cookout next Saturday. Here is the deck got to be finished. Well, the deck will be finished actually about 4 days early. Weather's cooperating, a little warm, but we're getting it done. So don't run away from every one of these calls. Could be an opportunity to grow your business. I know it's not always what we want to do, but just waive the warranty. Put it in writing of what you're not responsible for and what to expect. If they sign it, they agree to it, they are very happy that you're able to rescue the project that they didn't think anybody could. And she specifically said, I am very surprised that you picked up the phone and then you're actually able to help us out on it. Anyways, I'm Ron Ramsden. I hope this helped. DYB coach, painting contractor. I'd love to hear your comments if you ever had to have one of these, or you get these calls now and then, and what your response is. Anyways, you got this. Take care.